Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Wednesday, June 29, and starting with the ASX here. So we're looking for further downside, and we're looking at this as a corrective rally, which is probably finished at the moment, so we'll need to look for short trades. But just before we do that, we want to have a look at two scenarios to the downside from wave B here down to wave C here. So one of them is that we include all of this as wave 1 here, and then 2 here, and then 3 here, and then 4 here, and 5 here, and then we have that as the low at that point. Okay, the other one is that we look at this as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4. So we get an extra low at this point. So I don't know, I haven't resolved that yet. Anyway, yeah, I haven't resolved that. So I do feel that this is the 38.2% retracement level for this, so we can put that wave 4 in here, and we can have a look at shorting the market as well. Probably a good idea to have a look at the where are we here, 1 day, go to 4 hour first, have a look at the US video as well. So here we were just basically looking for an A and a B and a C back up here. So if that is true, we'll see a rally here, and we'll see 3, 4 and 5 come down to here as wave 1, and then we're going to have a wave 2 rally, and then we'll come down for 3, 4 and 5 coming down here in that way. So we've got some labeling for that. I'll just create it. So yeah, down into this space. We could also have, you know, this other one over here, but we don't need to go into that. We'll just focus on this one, because I need to see where all the US markets are and the other Asian markets and all those sort of things. I've got to have a look at sort of bringing these in together and seeing what's what at that point. But in the bigger picture, that's sort of where we are for this. So going into the hourly chart now and just checking on this top here that we were talking about yesterday. So we can just tidy that up a little bit here. And then we can look at this here being wave 1 here, and we'll look at that in more detail as well. And we want to look at that. We don't need that anymore, do we, over here? All that's done and dusted. So I'm going to borrow that. I'm just going to put that there for a moment. It does look like, at first glance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we should see a rally. Actually, let's just, if that is correct, the rally that we're looking for is an ABC pattern. And it might just drop down to here and then do it, you know. But what we want to do is we want to short that B wave under here for that, or we can just, you know, get a bit closer here and look at if that's not the right tool. Need this one. If that's correct, I mean, obviously stocks will drop, but this might hold itself. We normally go between the 60 and the 50 here, but I'm going to bring it down to the 40, so 40, 50 and 60, so shorting it anywhere in that space. If we get a rally, we need to see the S&P rally, but that's not rallying just yet, and stocks will open lower, so it'll probably be dragged lower, but we'll take a look at that in a moment, come back to that. We don't need that. So yeah, this could be counted a bit differently. That I won't worry about that. That needs to be resolved a little bit, but that's okay. So just having a look at this space up here. Let's tidy a few things up, and sorry it's not all done for you. It's just that I have to look at so many markets, and it's sort of hopefully that you're out of these trades. So I'm just going to take those out. I don't even know what they were now, but let's just, that's 200. Let's just get 5 ticks in here so we can just use some of this stuff. So we're looking at this being here and here, and just borrow those 3, 4 and 5. Don't need that, and don't need a few of these little guys. That's all good. That will make wave 1 over here. That will make wave 2. I'll leave the ABC there. I think I'm going to put it there for the time being. Then we can use these, which will be 1 and 2 in here. They'll be handy in the third wave coming down, because the third wave, like this third wave here, is always, you know, the biggest of this one here will need some extra attention in putting those little dots in. And 3, 4. I've got to check on this. We're going to check this in a moment. 5, and we can use this ABC over here. Recycling. Okay, so there we go. We're getting that there a bit better. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all cool. That's 4. I wonder if that will hold, because that's like a nice 5-wave structure there, isn't it? And have we done this right? I think we've done everything right, but it's going to be a little bit sort of confusing unless this is going to open up further, sort of. I don't think so. It should be okay actually, but it's going to be a bit weird with the anyway, let's just work on that. I mean, the 6,700, so that will be 61.8%, the 50 and the 32. I'm just going to bring it into here, and just because we might not get much of a rally, and we want to really get, I mean, if you normally trade 5 contracts with CFDs or something, just trade 1 or 2 in here, you know, just keep it light, because the stop needs to be kept out of the way up here somewhere. We don't want to, we just need to be free of any problems at this point. So it's hard to imagine that, so we may just get something like that and not really even getting out of this, you know. I'm quite tempted to bring that down further in this, but where's the S&P with this? So the S&P and the NASDAQ are a little bit different actually, a little bit different. I just don't want to miss the short, you know what I mean, if we don't get up there. And we should get to this wave 4 at least. Now that I've done that, we'll probably go to the 61.8%, and you've shorted it at the low here, and then you're sort of like chucking stuff at me again. But that is a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So also, look, if this comes down here, we want to use the 6, 7 as a classic trading levels pattern to go short here again as well. So we want to be, you know, we want that locked under there, so we have to wait for that low to be locked under there and so on. And then what we can do is we can also look to add, if I just go to 672 roughly, and this will be group 2 here, because this here, the 6665, close enough, this will be this, whatever happens here for a little while, that will be the swing range of everything. So you don't want to get your stop loss in that, because this is where all sorts of things can happen. We want to leave the stop out. You could actually bring the stop down a bit further, but not too much. Just in case. So really we want to try to get sort of 2 short positions at least above the 6,700 and then build in down here. So once this level, once the number 2, the 72 here or the 65 becomes the retested resistance, you want to be looking at the short side at that point. You want to add another short, and then the 50 here is also going to be important, and there will be bounces here, and there will be a classic trading levels pattern here, and I'm just getting you in advanced here. You want that as the resistance to put another position in here. They could all be one, you know, one contract each or something. I mean, whatever you do, but just don't overdo it. Now, this is the point where we need to scale in here. So the other point here, that sometimes you can use the B wave. So if we take the low here and go from the B wave here, we can go that way as well, try to get. And the other thing, if just talking about group 1 for a moment, if the market comes up here somewhere, right, comes up into 6,730, comes up into this area, and then you, once it's been up here, then it comes back down and it gets the number 2 here as the resistance, then you can also like work and short it there. So it'll be something like over here. So sometimes it's a pretty picture and sometimes it's sort of you can't get it, but sometimes, you know, you might end up shorting it lower here. But if you can see this situation here, so that would be the low, you could probably bring it up to that. This one here is sticking out like dog's balls, so you could kind of look at that there and short that at that point. So that's what you'd be looking for just over here, just to get another, because once that number 2, when you're coming down, once the number 2 becomes the retested resistance, it gets pulled down to the larger number at that point, you know. I mean, this should come down further here, but I just kind of can't see. I mean, that's that's wave 1. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Or could go the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you might want to sort of cascade down here. Just can't sort of, I mean, I'll have to extend it down, either 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave here. I just don't want to get you short at the bottom and then we get the rally, you know, because I think watch the S&P video for the US markets. That will be helpful at that point. But also group 2 over here, we'll need to work that. Whatever you do up here in this area, if you keep it really light, because remember that if we just go back to the 4-hour chart here or something for a while, I don't know where I drew that other picture. Yeah, got this a bit different here, but you know, we're in here. We want to be down at the 6,200 or the 6,000 here. You know, so if you normally trade 10 contracts and you find one contract really boring and doesn't take your attention, it's not entertaining and all the rest of it, I think you need to reconsider that and look at just getting some small positions in here and going for the longer haul here, and then as it plays out, we'll look to it, because we want to be adding all the way down through here, and then we've got to handle this bounce here as well. So there's work to do here just for this yet, and also too by having very small positions, because it would be nice to sort of confirm this a little bit further yet. Just because I put the wave 4 there, it doesn't mean diddly squat. I mean, I think it's okay, but what about if it's just a wave 4 coming back, or another wave 2 or something? So it's at the 38.2 here. Maybe it just goes an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here, and then moves up, you know. So there's that sort. I could be wrong basically in that sense, you know. I think we're okay because we've got 5 waves here. We're going to get another 5 waves, but it could be up for 1, back for 2, up for 1, back for 2. I don't think so. What's the stochastics at this level saying here? Yeah, it's opening up pretty wide there, so that's all good. So yeah, anyway, there we go. And let's just cruise along and have a look at CBA here. So CBA hit the 38.2% retracement level there. So I think, and also I think that we can just, if you wanted to, this is a little bit high risk as well, is just short this under the low or on the open. There could be a rally for this as well, so you just need to keep out the. There may be even another little high here, so we'll just have to manage that, right? But it'll probably gap open and then come back and retest it. So you might be able to get it on the retest, you know, when these stocks when the indices are retesting. But to get a small position here and then we'll get another one down here somewhere and get a few in here. Just clear this up here. So we'll do one there, one down here a bit further, and then we'll look to get one under the 90 when that becomes the resistance at that point. They just need to be small, you know, they don't have to be your normal bet sizes, you know, just small. And we should be in this trend here for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, 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 a couple of weeks, you know. So that should be good, and might be able to get further down. But if we can get from here down to the 80, that will be fantastic. So yeah, we'll just get rid of this here. And over to the resources. So with iron ore here, we've had this as a possible wave 4, but it's gone too high, and I can see the stochastics is still setting up. We can also see that this level across here has got a fair bit of significance. The 61.8% is here. I just think we allow to play it out. We know that the move up is on lower volume except for one of the bars. It's just allowed to play out. BHP and all the other guys and Rio and all that have been moving up there as well. So I think that it's, I mean, we can have a low in here. That's the point. We can have a look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. That's never sort of left me at that point. But I couldn't put that there until we've had this 8 here as a nice tested support, and we're far from that at the moment. So, but the price has moved up a lot, and the stochastics is just really, you know, starting to turn a little bit here. So it's quite a positive thing that's occurring here with all of this. But let's go in and have a look at the stocks on these notes. So here we can have, this is the ADR for BHP, so we can have this as the A, the B and the C wave here, and we're done and dusted. Or we're going to go up in an A, B and C here, up into this space here, and then we're going to come down. So looking at energy stocks and those sort of things, they've got this going on here. But yeah, look, that could be a low there. So I think the best way to handle it is that we'll either look for an A and a B and a C wave up here, and we'll take a closer look at that in a moment, and then we'll short the B wave. The other way about this is looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here, and then going into wave 5 here. So if we get 5 waves up there, then we'll come back for the A wave, the B wave and the C wave. And then we'll go long on this, and then we'll go long from that point. But we need that 5 waves up there first. If we only get 3 waves up, well, then we'll go for that short, and we could get a better position at that point. I mean, normally if we were in just a normal bullish market, we would look at, you know, we'd go for this on the long side, but we can't because, you know, markets are looking a bit bearish on the stock side of things. If we go to, I'll just go to 20 ticks in here and have a look at this for a moment. Okay, I've got plenty in here. So overnight we had 5 waves down. So that means that BHP, Rio and all that will do the same. So we've got 1 here, and then we've got, what have we got here? So that's probably the third. This is wave 1, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, the fourth wave and the fifth wave. We'll have a little ABC. So we've got 5 waves here. We're going to have a little ABC here, and then we're going to have another move down. So that's going to leave this move up here as, well, I think that even though they've gapped here, I think that we could look at them in terms of, just trying to get my head around, see a little bit more. There's a couple of ways we could come. But even if we looked at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's not quite correct because this could come from this point. but yeah, this gap shorter than this gap, and this length is shorter than this one. So basically it's been diminishing to the top, and now we've got this. So we could look at all of this as the A wave here, the B wave here, so an ABC back for the B wave. So yeah, so that's about right. Let's just go back to the daily chart. And we can look at all the other stocks like this too, by the by. So I think I'm right in going wave, this is wave A here, coming back for wave B now. We don't want to short that because we'll still have one more move to the upside here. How far it will go up, we'll see. But we can't do anything. If we short it now, then we may get away with it. And this could be cascading. This could be down for one, back for two, down for one, back for two, down for one, back for two, and continue to cascade down. If that's the case, then we'll look to short under here for that. That would be the safest. Otherwise, we need to wait for this A wave, B wave, and C wave up here, and then we can look to short under the B wave or move a bit closer to that, because we also need to be mindful of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming up here and then coming at that side, you know. So we'll just be a bit tactical about it. We won't get the best price or anything, but we'll get a safer trade out of it. So taking that in view with ASX BHP, we'll look at this as the A wave, the B wave coming back, and then a C wave coming up here, and then down at that point. We also understand that this could be an A wave, B wave, and C wave here. That could be a low here. Once again, we would need 5 waves up to prove that. And if this was just going to drop straight from here, then we'll need to be short under here. And that takes care of everything that we need to take care of to have a safe trade. Also with Rio will be the same as well, so we can look to short under here. Yesterday we counted down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we can have it down as wave 1 and 2 here, and then going up higher at that point. Or we could look at it as an A and a B and a C here for the B wave, so a bigger wave 2 over here coming down. So there's a few things that we need to get prepared for. I mean, it's just that the stock market is in a bit of a precarious situation. But the other thing too is, you know, sometimes the resources can be rallying while the banks and the ASX200 will be going to the downside. But I do need to check. We do need the proper setup to move into all of these, and it'll be the same with Rio here as well. Sorry, with FMG. So the move up here, we could look at it as an ABC and be done with it, but we'll just give it a bit of chance and see if we get an ABC back up into the 50-60%, because we've got 5 waves here. We've either got a low in place, we're going to continue to go up, but if that's the case, we want to see 5 waves up there, and then we'll buy the pullback, because this is a bit complicated, all of this as well, and it can be viewed in different ways. So we need to be a bit more diligent on the trade setup. This is just the energy sector here, well, the US energy sector, and it's got these dudes in it, you know, the big boys in here. So they'll be doing gas and crude and whatnot. So to me, this sums up the whole situation for the gas and the oil market. This move down here was sharp as a knife, so it's an A wave. We can also count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here, so that's good. And now we're looking for the B wave. It is possible that the B wave is already in place here. It's a little bit short. It's either that, or we'll get this as an A and a B and a C wave coming up here. So I'm not quite sure about that, but there is a case for the B wave to be done, but it's just a little bit small there at the moment. So we'll just plonk that back up there and put it in line with everything else. But the takeaway here, the main point here is that well, first things first, we can short under here. We could probably even come up under these lows. And this will be for gas stocks and oil stocks and everything that you're looking at in that energy sector. But because we've got 5 waves here, after some type of correction, we're going to get another 5. But we just don't know if we're going to get an... I can look at this as an ABC and be done here, but it's just too small. So we'll look at it as coming back down and then going up and then getting it. But if it drops out the low here, you want to take that, because this length here will be matched over here. The 65 will give it a hard time, but it will come down a bit lower than that as well, probably down in here somewhere, maybe even to the 50, who knows. So I should just remove that. We just got to count the waves. That's all we can do. Get some sort of idea, but wave C here should have some sort of equality with wave A, just that it should be on more of an angle, you know, less of an angle than wave A there. So when we look at the gas market, it'll be the same. We're looking for an A, B and C, and that whatever stocks that you're trading, that will be the same as well, okay, be it oil or gas. So I'm just going to put that back over into my sector place. So with natural gas here, as you know, we're looking at as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and coming down for wave 5 here for this. So now we need to be, we're out of that short trade, as you know, and we've been looking for, called the low in, and we're looking for the market to the long side. Now, just going to clean this up. We did have a little position there. I'll leave that up to you at that point, but you'll need to, so this here, I think we need to look at this as the A wave here now and the B wave here. So this will probably be something like this. And we'll have to look at that as 1 and 2 in here somewhere. So wave 1 here, 2 here. I'll give that some more consideration. That could be part of wave 1 here because, and I've got to sort that out. That's, anyway, we'll look at that as the 3rd wave in here and the 4th and then the 5th wave in here somewhere. That could be the low here of wave B here. That could be an A and a B and a C here for that. I'm not quite sure, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not interested in this for a moment until we get a little bit further up here for all of this. Okay, so anyway, call the low in. It's got support on the 650, a medium level there, and we should see it move up further, but we can have one little move down before we see a move up. So as it stretches out here, it will become a little bit more obvious of what things are, but we do need to allow it to come up further. At least it's just too low at this point. So we could see resources move up, you know, quite nicely while the banks are moving lower. So just keep that in mind. And over to the gold section, but we just haven't had a look at Santos, so we need to have a look at Santos and Woodside. So this is Santos here. We can see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 waves down here, just like the energy sector. So we need to be looking at that little move to the upside. So let's just go into a 5-minute chart from the daily chart and just check on that to see what's what here with this. What does it look like? Okay, well that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is, we're going to see here, we can look at this as the A wave here, some sort of A, B, C here for the B wave, and then one more move up here for the C wave up there. So that's going to be our A wave, B wave, and C wave somewhere up there. So let's just go back to the daily chart for a moment. So this is our daily chart. So let's just move this out the way a bit here. So we've got, okay, well that's there. So what we could do here is that once we've got our B wave in here, we can short under that, or we can draw a line through here and short, or we could short up here based on those 5 waves here. So that's where we are. So we could look for a short trade, not probably give the B wave a day and a half, and then give another 2 days up here at least. So it's 2, 3, 4, probably 5 days, and you can short that. Let's just have a look at its little buddy here. Oh, this is moving. This is a bit more advanced, this one. So this would be 5 waves down to here, then an A and a B and a C here. So you could probably short this one under here if you wanted to. But I say to you, it's not going very far, because the length of this here will probably play out over here for that. So it's going to be, it's sticking to this number, this 30. So that's a problem. You know, you normally trade markets when they've broken away from large numbers, but this is still sticking to it, you know. So I probably wouldn't do that. The risk, you make money, but the risk reward's not there. I'll say that, and it'll probably drop really nicely, you know. But you got to go with the averages of things. That said, we're over to the GDX, the gold market here. So let's bring this across. So we can look at this leg here as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. We could also look at this leg here as 1 and 2 here as well in that space. So there's a couple of ways you can look at that. Doesn't really matter. We've got one short trade here. We've got the stop out of the way. We're going to short this again under this particular low here, because if that's breached, then if that's breached, if that low there is breached, I can bring this wave 2 into this space then, because we need to look at this as 5 waves here. So it's a bit small. So we could still get a flick back here for this before coming down. Just be mindful of that. And then we're looking at US spot gold here. Let's bring the label in here somewhere so we can see that. There's a couple of counts here, as you know. I've mentioned them many times. One is that we've got the triangle pattern over here, and that's still possible the way this is flickering around here. So the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave up here. It's either that, or we're going to break lower through here, and then we'll come further down at that point. Okay, so all I can say to you about this, the 1800 here as a retested resistance with a classic trading levels pattern, be it very simple like this, or be it a little bit more complex, which is probably coming back above the level, is probably what's going to occur here. So we've got plenty of time for a short trade set up here. We just need to give it some more time. We've given it a lot of time, and we still need to give it more time. It's just vibrating here for the time being. So yeah, so either the triangle pattern or further downside. Okay, with Newcrest mining, we've got it coming down further here. Obviously it's jumped up yesterday off its low and so on. We don't need that. Probably we don't need a lot of this here, but sometimes it confuses things. But the trend down here is not finished yet, so this will be some sort of little wave 4 here. Maybe I could put that wave 3 there, but then it's a bit short for this wave 3. So anyway, we'll keep going on. When the 22 becomes the retested resistance, because it's the pivot within group 1, 21, 22, and 3. Once that becomes the retested resistance, then it's going to be pulled down to 20. If it's going to be pulled down to 20, then we'll see it at 18. So it's just a little pit stop on the way that you can acknowledge that it's not resistance yet, and that's where the battle's going to be played out. But that supply will come down on top of that. It may push back up to 23 and then push down. I'm not quite sure. I haven't pulled it apart, but the trend is still intact to the downside. The Australian dollar, as I mentioned, didn't quite understand this particular pattern that's going on here, so we just needed to be a little bit sort of careful of it. I'm still looking for another low here, but it's a bit big, this correction. I mean, this here is an A and a B and a C wave here, so until that's broken here, this market could move up. This also looks corrective here. If we go to the hourly chart, if the 69 here becomes the retested resistance, then you can short it at that point. But let's just go to, or on the 4 hours, just go to the hourly chart here for a moment. Let's bring this into perspective. Let's bring in 69. At that point, we're going to get a bounce off that. That looks like it's 5 waves to the downside, so that's good. So somewhere here, we're going to see a little A wave, a B wave, and a C wave back up, hitting this supply through here, and then probably down at that point. So I don't know if that's helpful to you at that point, but shorting it under here, shorting it at the rally here could be good for a very small position, and then looking for it under here. But the target is anywhere between 68 and 68.50. Might come down lower now that the S&P is sort of looking a bit softer, so it should trend down lower. It'll be forced down lower with that. Just keep the stop out of the way in this space. Just keep the stop out of the way for the time being. This could be counted as down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2, and then moving down here further. So yeah, I mean, obviously taking this, well, you could probably move it to here, taking that out there would confirm that this pattern can be turned into a bearish, because this could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to this point. If the market comes to this point, it's going to take that point out, so you could probably even move that up into that point there. But look for a classic trading levels pattern to do anything there. But that being breached here forces this to be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and come down at that point, or even wave 4 needs to be put over here for that, but they would still need another one over here as an A, B, C, D, and E, so it would still struggle around here for a while. So it could get pretty complicated around here, so make sure whatever you do, keep your stop out of the way above that stop there, because it could get all quite messy in there, and just doesn't, because it's not a big trend, it could be, but don't overtrade it. That's the main thing. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.